stiff and old man and my parents. I mean, I identify as a conservative, but I don't necessarily picture myself as a conservative.
When I think of conservative, I think of older men, you know, not involved with today's culture.
Closed mind, out of touch.
It seems like the Conservative Party has a lot of inner ties people aren't willing to break away from.
Well, actually probably not at all.
I can't remember the last time I've felt truly reached by a conservative, what would be considered a conservative message.
I don't think the Conservative Party has done a good job with connecting with our generation. They've been a bit more distant than their opposing parties. They've not connected with our generation in a way that relates to us.
By being real and being seen in everyday life, and by showing, you know, how you are in an everyday manner, not necessarily when it comes to just voting or you know, when it comes to campaigning.
I think the best ways to reach us would be to get on Facebook and to get on the internet and to text and to just be where we are. And that's not on the news. That's on stuff like Saturday Night Live and like the Ellen DeGeneres show, and I mean, it's things like that. It's not the news.
I think a lot to do with image and you know, the cool factor, the way someone's dressed, and you know, you want to be sexy even though you're conservative, rather than dowdy, which has kind of become the image with the Conservative Party, is the dowdy image rather than a cutting edge kind of glamorous image. You know, I think that's a really, just on a practical note, a very key, important thing to get the attention of the younger generation.
For a political party to reach me and to get into my way of thinking and into my life, I would like to see a party utilize technology that I use on a daily basis, such as Facebook is pretty much what I use, but I know a lot of my peers also use MySpace and are on Twitter, and I think the internet is the way to communicate these days.
Media, whether it be TV or internet or web-based, whether we like it or not, that's where our world is, and that's where we get most of our information. And the more that you can be on those things in a positive way, the better off you are.
Reconnect with our generation by becoming a bit more positive and making a conscious shift and a conscious effort to stay positive. I'm super excited about our generation and our generation's potential.
Well, I definitely think our generation is a service-oriented generation. We do really want to go out there and make an impact and change the world and make it a better place.
I think our generation longs to lead and longs for change.
I think our generation is ready to see a change, and I think that's why Obama's campaign was so successful, because that's what they talked about, and that made a big impression. And I think that we, as a young generation, want there to be change. And as much as we can be lazy at times, I think ultimately we want to be part of that change, and we want to feel meaning in some form or fashion, and we want to be involved in making this world a better place and making a difference. And I think if you can get people really engaged in a cause, and everyone's going to have a different idea of what they feel is important, but I think if you can get people connected to that especially us as young people are going to be very interested in trying to make a difference in the world that they live in, because we're all looking for something to make life more meaningful and more fulfilling and more satisfying. And if you can get those moral issues to make a difference in our own lives, then we're going to want to step out and to make a difference in other people's lives.